Hi friends, if you're considering making a move to Salt Lake City, Utah, but you desire the convenient city living and you want to be in a little bit smaller town feel, then I have a great option for you. North Salt Lake is parallel from Salt Lake City, and we're going to explore it today to see how close it is to Salt Lake City and the airport. We're going to do a map video, so get prepared. It's going to be a lot of fun. In this video, we're going to look at the map and we're going to explore your different driving options. How can you get to the airport? How can you get to Aunt Sally's? How can you get to Disneyland? We're going to go all over so that you can get a good feel for what it would look like if you're living in North Salt Lake City, Utah. In the beginning, we're going to focus on the west side of North Salt Lake City. Then by the end, we're going to cross over and look at the east side of North Salt Lake City. If you stick around to the end, it'll give you a good glimpse into everyday living in these communities to help you get a good feel of the lifestyle you can expect. In the end, we're going to show you a little bit too, a nice overview of the range of housing prices so that you can see how that sits on the map as well. If this is your first time to the channel, and if you want to know everything there is to know about living in Salt Lake City, Utah, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know all the juicy details about Salt Lake City living and lifestyle. My name is Janet with Living in Salt Lake City, Utah. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking for help to make a move to Salt Lake City, Utah and the surrounding suburbs, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, or a year, shoot us a text, send us an email, or contact us with the information below so that we can figure out what will best suit your needs. We want to help you make a smooth move to Salt Lake City, Utah, and the surrounding areas. So let's get started. Before we get started today, I want to start with some important information. Although North Salt Lake appears to be running completely parallel to Salt Lake, which it is here in Utah, the confusing thing is that it's actually in a whole different county. It's in Davis County, not Salt Lake County. So this will be really important when you were looking up information about schooling or other such important information that you're looking for. You want to remember that North Salt Lake is actually in Davis County. Okay, so let's get started. North Salt Lake is about 20 minutes north of Salt Lake City. And then North Salt Lake is about 15 minutes to the international airport. One of the things that I love as a resident of living in North Salt Lake is the convenient location. It does put me right in the center of the Wasatch Front. As a real estate agent who needs to go all the way north up here to North Ogden or Pleasant View, all those areas, or even Logan through the canyon, it doesn't take me more than an hour to get there. Yet, if I want to go all the way south and I want to go to Provo or Orem or even Springville, Spanish Fork, again, it's an hour's trip in the other direction as well. And fun fact, like if you're driving to Disneyland, it's about 10 hours headed south. And if you're going to Vegas, it's about 6. So it's a really nice, convenient location. It puts you right in the middle of the heart of the Wasatch Front. So there are lots of options of freeways as you live in North Salt Lake. So as you can see here, if you start in North Salt Lake, you're going to probably take either 89 and jump this way and sneak over here and end up in Salt Lake City. Or you might choose to jump on 215. Like if you're going to the airport, you're going to jump on 215 and then you're going to sneak onto, where'd it go? Oh, you're going to come down 215, sneak on I-80 West, and then that's going to get you to the airport. Or if there's a lot of traffic, 215 seems to be less trafficked. So I'm going to take 215 and then I'm going to go east and head into Salt Lake, especially like if you're heading to ski resorts or Park City, you're going to go the I-80 East. You're going to loop back onto I-15 and then you're going to sneak back on 80 East and then you can head up into Park City this way. And Park City from North Salt Lake is only about 45-minute drive. So there's a lot of fun activities that are really close in range. And again, if I want to go north and I want to go to like Pine View Resort because I want to go paddleboarding or boating, again, I can just head up this way and it's not that far. It's going to take me less than an hour. Or if I want to go south and I want to go to some other areas up in Provo Canyon, maybe I want to go do some hiking, then I can go up that way. And again, it's going to take me less than an hour to get there as well. So one thing that I love is also there is an additional little side freeway that is right here. If you see where it says Legacy Highway, this one right here runs parallel with I-15. So you have I-15 and 89 that kind of all run alongside each other. You can see I-15 goes here and 89 is just running right alongside it. So you do have some really good options that run parallel to help you if you get some congestion that's happening. It's mostly during high peak traffic. It's once you get up here a little bit further north. So from North Salt Lake, once you get a little bit further like into Farmington, which is you've got Woods Cross, Bountiful, and then you run into Centerville and then Farmington. That's kind of where you bottleneck on I-15 for a while, but they did just do a magnificent additional exit from both Legacy and I-15 into an additional corridor that is very helpful that runs way out here west, kind of off of Legacy and then west and takes you all the way north. So you've got just these fabulous, fabulous options to get everywhere where you need to go, which is very, very helpful for traffic flow, being able to enjoy all the fun things you want to do. So something that I love about living in Utah is the 4 seasons. Something you might want to keep in mind if you're considering Utah is the fact that you do get fall and then you have winter and then spring and oh goodness, let's see. I guess you start like fall, winter, spring, summer. There you go. I missed summer. So you do get all of the seasons. So there's always like right when you're just done with a season, you're moving into the next. Obviously, my favorites are both spring and fall because those are ones where it's not too hot, not too cold. Although summer is phenomenal for paddleboarding or water sports and biking and all those things. So I love that. And winter, like I'm not big into skiing. I have skied and I find it phenomenal. And I love snowmobiling, which is so much fun. But I mostly love just cozying up in next to a fireplace with a good book or a good movie in the wintertime. So as long as I don't have to drive in horrific snowstorms, I love winter as well. That's just a little bit about what I wanted to introduce you to today on the map and how you're going to get around if you are considering North Salt Lake City, Utah as an area of interest. Okay, so I just wanted to go back for a minute. I actually got the screen a little bit closer on the map and I want to talk a little bit more about, so North Salt Lake City is, we've got the main freeway, which is I-15, which is going to take you from Salt Lake City into North Salt Lake. Over here is the Legacy Highway. And there was a lot of controversy to get this built. There's wetlands and they just wanted to protect the wetlands. And so one thing you will notice if you are on Legacy Highway and you're headed this way, or if you're looping into 215, this is actually south and this is north. You might see some roadkill. So there are skunks, there are raccoons, there are deer. Preserving a lot of those wetlands, you will see that there is wildlife around there. Another thing that I forgot to mention that I wanted to get close up to is that this main road fare right here that says 68, this is Redwood Road. And it also goes, oops, I went right off the tracks, but it goes right here and then you can turn off and then you can jump onto, let's see, I think it's right about here. You can turn off here and you can jump onto Legacy, or you can head this way and you can jump onto I-15 and then it'll loop you onto 89. So again, very fluid traffic patterns, very easy to move from one to the other. So it's really nice to be able to get around from North Salt Lake to any of the other surrounding cities. So I did want to point that out and tell you a little bit of the history there so you knew. And again, like the new exit, like as you go along Legacy here, it's when you get a little bit further down here, that's where you'll see that they spent a good several years being able to make some good overpasses that are going to take you west out to this additional Legacy corridor in about Farmington. And then there are ones that can get from Farmington, get you over to I-15 as well. So there's a lot of options to help alleviate the traffic on I-15. And they're assuming that that should alleviate a lot of the traffic. And so far, so good. It actually has made a difference. There you have it. There's all your different options. Obviously, there's some other little side streets, but these are the major ways to get around. So far, we have actually been focused on this area right here. This area is west North Salt Lake City. The neighborhood name is Foxborough. You have Foxborough South, which is where they began, and then Foxborough North, where they ended up. But there are thousands of residents who live in this area. As you can tell, there is not a lot of availability of homes listed in this area. For example, I think it would be fun to be able to see what a home looks like in this area. So this one is listed at $500,000 currently, and it's a 3-bedroom and 3-bath. It's 1,649 square feet. community, and that one was probably built in about 2010 or maybe even a little bit newer. On this one, that's when they started building in that north side of Foxborough. But let's just kind of click on it. Let's see if we can see some of the pictures so that we can see what it looks like. They're not huge lots, so if you like a lot of room between your neighbors, that might be something to consider. But you can tell that you know, they are a little bit newer. Got some great features. Got a grandmaster bath. That you can see that the lot is not very big, and it looks like this one isn't even currently landscaped. But that's kind of what you can expect on the west side of North Salt Lake. It is a very popular area. There's not a lot available, but there will be, I'm sure, as we hit spring and summer coming available in that area. I did want to shift focus and go on the east side of I-15. So this over here, this is East North Salt Lake City. It's kind of on the mountain side, and I wanted to focus on it. Valverde is actually Bountiful, so they kind of blend together. But North Salt Lake, you can see right here, and you can see that Salt Lake is just down here. But if you are coming from Salt Lake, I-15, you can get off on 89 and jump into North Salt Lake on the east side. You can jump on here, kind of take these different belt routes. It gets a little bit confusing, but you're going to kind of stick to I-15 to get you either to loop onto 215 further down the road. But anyway, so let's look and see what you can see over here. These homes obviously are a little bit bigger. This one is modern and new. This looks like a new construction. So it's listed for $1,099,995, and it has 3 bedrooms and 4 baths. It's 4,251 square feet. And if we look at the pictures, we can see it's got a fireplace. That's beautiful. I like the pendant lights. There you go. I wish we could see the views a little bit better. You probably have some nice views out these windows. You're kind of east on the mountainside. So just to give you an idea, there you go. You can kind of see how it sits up there. Looks down on the valley. You're standing up here and you're looking west on the west side. That's what you're looking out at. Unfinished basement. So there's just an idea of what you might get up on the east bench of North Salt Lake. Let's see. This one here is so 780. Let's take a peek at this one. Let's see the rest of the pictures. Okay. So you can see it's a little bit older, a little bit more dated, not as modern. Some people like that though. Some people aren't all into all the modern. Just depends on your personal taste. But there you have an idea of what that might look like. And you can see the golf course there in North Salt Lake. It's very popular. It's a very nice golf course. People really enjoy it. All right, let's try one more. Let's see if we can find something just a little bit different. Let's see what this one is. This one's a better price point. There we go. Okay, so when you're looking at this one, it's a $400,000. I'm pretty sure this is a 55 and older community, but it's a lot of fun because it has elevators and it has a lot of really fun activities. So even though if you're up on the 3rd floor, it is all main living because of the elevator involved. So it's kind of fun area. I feel like they do a good job involving the community and doing some fun things. Some good common areas as well. You can see what this looks like. 2 bedroom, 2 bath. 1,254 square feet. Kind of fun. You can see they've done some updating in here. And you can see those views. They're beautiful. And pool. All right, so there you go. There is a little introduction to kind of what you can expect as far as pricing currently and kind of how to get around town. Like I said, if you're going to live east in North Salt Lake City, you do have some limited options, but you can obviously use the same I-15, which runs north and south through Wasatch Valley, and 89 does give you some other options, and you can loop into 215. All right, that was fun. So now that you've had a chance to get around town and see what it looks like on a map living in North Salt Lake City, Utah, you might want to compare it to some of the surrounding areas, the different cities, so that you can see if they might just be a little bit better fit for you. So stay tuned. In upcoming videos, we'll be doing Bountiful, Woods Crossed, West Bountiful, Kaysville, Farmington, Centerville, much more. So you might be looking to make a job transfer. You might need some advice on what city will best suit your needs. If that's you, let's have a conversation. Let's chat. Let's figure out what will best suit your needs, especially for commute time and getting you where you want to go and being able to play and enjoy all the things that Salt Lake City, Utah has to offer. Thanks.